What?
Off my eyes, it just tell me that.
You can make numbers say anything you want.
Dan Orlovsky, what?
But Dan likes Kyle and I do too. So
You can make numbers
I'm just
say
saying it,
anything.
Dan.
I guess
Without
you-
Garoppolo, he never wins. Like Shanahan only wins with Garoppolo.
It's funny to me. That's all. Because when I look at some of these offensive guru type coaches that had Peyton Manning or Matt Ryan or Tom Brady, and then they go somewhere else, whether it's Josh or Kyle
Bill Belichick.
Their offenses aren't good, but their defense is what carried them.
You're not saying that about Kyle, though, correct?
No, when Kyle went to the Super Bowl, that defense carried them. Offense did okay. but
You're
the
talking
defense
San
carried.
Francisco?
I'm just talking about in
Key.
general, though.
They were a top 5 offense that year.
I get that, but we talked about their defense. We didn't talk about their offense when they went to the Super Bowl. We praised their defense. We praised the Richard Shermans and the Bosa's.
Yeah, their defense was
That's
great.
What we praised.
But it was a top 5 offense.
I understand
best
that,
run game in
but
football that year.
My whole point is we talked about the defense. We never praised their offense. And so when you look at it, it's just like, why do they get this? Like Matt Nagy, like we don't even talk about it. He got hired based on being an offensive mind. But we talk about the Bears' defense when they win games. It's like, it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Well, because I think since Nagy's been their head coach, I think the number is something like they score 18 or 19 a game. So the only reason that the winning percentage is X is because the defense has been so good.
Yeah, speaking of defense versus offense, the Bears, it's all about the defense. At least when Kyle Shanahan has Garoppolo, they've been pretty good offensively.
No, they've been okay offensively. There's nothing wrong with their offense with Garoppolo.
That's Dan Orlovsky you hear. The dulcet tones of Dan Orlovsky. That's a compliment, Dan. Dan Orlovsky is giving the Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. What was your biggest takeaway from Brady's return to Foxborough?
That the greatest situational football player ever was good enough in the greatest situation or in those situational football moments. It wasn't pretty, but it was pretty enough. The 2-minute drive that they get right before the half, Brady leads him down and gets 3. And then they get the ball in. People can point to, the missed 3rd down and 8 on the go route to AB. First of all, that's a dime, so catch it. But the 3rd and 6 before that is the one that gets him in the field goal range. And if he doesn't get that 3rd and 6 to AB, the out route to the left, they got to punt the football, and they never take the lead. So, like in a game, and a lot of people, we talked about it this morning for the production call and Get Up. It wasn't that entertaining. I think it's one of the more impressive wins that I've watched Brady go and get. Think of the emotion, the 20 years, the buildup, and then all of a sudden you got to go win the game on the road in the rain without Gronk, man. Like, that is so hard to do. And with the greatest defensive mind ever against you on the opposite sideline, made enough plays. And for the guy that we've kind of had the description in his career of find a way. He just has always found a way to make the play at the right moment to win the game. He did it again. And I thought that was a big deal.
No, he certainly did do it again. He just, terrific time. What else can you say, right? He took care of business. But when you look at it from the other side, Dan mentioned nerves, the emotions. You could certainly look at Tom Brady in the game and tell some of the throws that were overthrows or slightly behind guys, he was being extra cautious because of that. The last thing, he did not want to have pick sixes happen or screw up the game. You could just totally tell. And then when you look at the other side of the New England Patriots, there was a lot of young quarterbacks that performed yesterday, Dan, out of the field, whether it was Trey Lance or Zach Wilson or Justin Fields and Mac Jones. They all took the field. Who was the most impressive to you?
The most impressive, probably performance-wise, was Mac Jones. I was told last week by everybody that their young quarterback shouldn't play because none of them are ready. No, they just got to play. It just so happens that football is a game that you get better at the more you do it. And this past week, all those young quarterbacks took steps forward. I think the thing that was so underrated, and Chris Collinsworth talked about it a little bit last night on the broadcast, Mac playing so well under chaos. They are not protecting him. He is getting beat up, and he's making really good, quick decisions. That was his superpower coming out of the draft, was getting rid of the football so quickly and making good decisions and placing it where it needs to be placed. But I thought they all had a really good week. Trevor was really good on Thursday Night Football. Zach Wilson had 2 or 3 throws yesterday. You go, yep, that's the second pick of the draft. Trey Lance had some big plays. I thought Justin Fields was excellent yesterday. I mean, excellent. And then Mac last night did everything he could to kind of lead one of the bigger upsets, so to speak. Certainly in the first month of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, he tried to. He looked to me
looked good, man.
a lot like young Tom Brady.
No doubt.
He was skittish at times. He looked like a little nervous, but I could understand that, certainly.
Can we talk about a quarterback that wasn't that great? What do you do if you're the Steelers? Where do you go?
Mike Tomlin has got to make the difficult decision to move on from Ben Roethlisberger.
At the end of the season.
No, I would say now.
Can't do it now.
All right, here's my question. I think it's
Two games before they get into their bye week. 2 games before their bye week.
Bro, they're 1-3.
I know, but I can't do it.
But you get paid to do a lot to make tough decisions.
Yeah, a guy like
Tell me why not doing it.
Because I don't have nothing behind me.
We don't think. We don't
I
know though.
I'm in the building.
So, but they did it to Eli a couple years ago. Tough decision.
But that,
dude, Key,
they drafted that for Eli, right?
And I get that, no doubt.
Yeah, they got caught with their pants down. What's the succession plan?
Why did we mention Giants?
But they're a blocked punt away from being 0-4.
I get it.
They have the worst offense in the NFL the last 2 years.
I understand.
So, and the offensive lines, they're not good, but they weren't atrocious yesterday. The Packers don't have a great rush. Ben still won't throw the ball downfield. I think Mike Tomlin has got to sit there and be like, am I ready to make this tough decision? They are not a good football team offensively. They're wasting a championship caliber defense.
Can't do it.
I think you're paid to do it. That's the thing.
I can't do it right now.
What do you think? You think you're going to see something different over the next 2 or 3 weeks?
I just
They
can't
threw the
do
ball
it.
You can't do it to Roethlisberger, you're saying?
do it. I can't do
He
it.
can't do it to
can't do
Roethlisberger. Is what you're
Season,
saying.
we're not winning the division anyway.
So
Man,
So what's more important? I get that, and your point, but is it not more important if you realize, honestly, we're not good. We ain't good enough to get into the playoffs. They're not. They're not a playoff football team. Is it not more important to go, okay, we have this young player in Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins, and we have no plan for the future? Is it important for us to figure it out?
It's hard for 20 years or however long Ben's been there
Sure.
to do that.
I'm with you.
Hard.
The argument is, as the Lakers did with Kobe toward the end of a legend's career, how does the franchise treat that guy, especially in a year where you're not going anywhere? It's an interesting, debate. It's an interesting, conflict in terms of points of view. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, presented by Progressive Insurance. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it as always. Much more on Big Ben's future after Jay has this from Granger.
For all the ones who get it done, Granger is always there to help. Granger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, 24/7 support, free access to product specialists, and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help keep your facilities safe and your people safer. So call 1-800-GRANGER.